here. My name is Coach Rose Peterson. I'm a certified personal trainer, both in person and online, and a certified nutrition coach. I help moms locally in Las Vegas, Nevada, and all over the world shed the weight holding them back from becoming their most energetic and authentic version of themselves so they can go after their deepest desires alongside of motherhood. You can find me at fitandconfidentmoms.com. Hey group, it's Coach Rose coming at you with another edition of Tuesday Talks. Now, before we get into the topic, I would love to know where you're watching from. Are you watching from YouTube? Are you watching from my free group, Fit and Confident Moms? If you are not in that group, you need to join that group because that is where all the magic happens for women looking to get fit and needing support, information, and the science-based facts of how fitness and weight loss works. So inside that group, we're there to support you if you have any health and fitness goals. If you're new to me, my name is Coach Rose Peterson. I am a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach located in Las Vegas, and I help clients here locally and virtually all over the world. Okay. And if you are looking for help, this is who I help. I help ambitious women 35 and up. Ambitious women. The reason I say that is because usually women out there, you guys are go-getters. You're juggling things, not just your own life, but you're working. You may have a family life. You may have a passion project, a business. You're trying to level up in your company. And those are the kind of women that need my help and support. And I show you the way to get fit alongside of going after being the best that you can be in all of those goals. So I help ambitious women 35 and over level up their fitness and confidence while building her dream life. Because I totally understand that that's me, right? And I've been where you are, and having a mentor to mentor you through the process is what helps you succeed in your goals. All right, we're going to hide this ticker. Oh, hi, Jada. Thanks for watching. Thank you for saying hello. Please, as we go through, this topic is going to be kind of in depth and complex. So if you have any questions, comments, anything resonate with you and you say, yes, I've experienced that. Yes, I have wondered if there has been a connection between gut health and all the things that I'm experiencing, drop it in the comments. You never know if somebody else knows that they're struggling out or you're struggling with something, they're more likely to share, right? And if you have a question, somebody else has a question. So all about gut health. Super, super important. We're going to jump right in. So many people have asked me to cover this topic, and it's such a big topic that I decided that we're going to do this in 3 parts. Okay. So we're going to talk about what is gut health? Why do we even want to worry about that? Or why do we need to pay attention to it? And the second part to this next week is we're going to talk about what are some next steps you could do easily with your nutrition, or maybe what are some next steps you would do with a professional. But there is a way to heal your gut, and you don't have to live with whatever symptoms that you're living with forever. And that's what part 2 is going to be about. And then in part 3, we're going to have a special guest expert. Her name is Liza Seitz. She's a functional nutrition counselor, and we're going to walk you through how to start healing your gut. So that is on part 3. Mark your calendars so that you don't miss this. Mark your calendars that you're going to check back in here on Tuesdays to get all the goods. All right. I'm going to make these slides big so that you guys can get the information you need. Grab a pen and paper and let's jump into it. Okay, so let's make this. All right, because I want you guys to get the full experience, full screen, especially if you have a pen and paper ready. You are going to want to take some notes on this. So I just want to cite, we already did my introduction, but really quick before I get there, I just want to show you guys, I was inspired with my own journey. This is me, mom of 3 kids, juggling it all, like I said before. And through my own transformation, I was inspired to show women that we were sold the wrong things, that we were sold dieting our way thin. We were sold running our way thin. And there's actually a better, more empowering way to get the body that we desire through strength training, through the proper nutrition, which, by the way, I'm a big advocate of flexible dieting, meaning that I don't tell my clients to go on a deprivation diet. We don't take out your favorite foods. We let mom's home cooking work for you during your journey, okay, and your favorite restaurants. So, through my own experience of hiring coaches and finally finding the right thing that worked for me in a more empowering way, that inspired me to become a coach myself and help other women, just shouting from the rooftops that there is another way and it's so much more fun and so much more enjoyable, and we can do it in a way that fits our life. So if that is something that you are interested in having help and wanting that same experience, Jada, just beautiful. Love your transformation pictures. Thank you. Um, put I'm ready in the comments and we'll reach out. Thank you, Jada. All right. So, what is gut health all about and why should I care? And I want you guys to know that my source for this is through an article written on precision nutrition. I am a precision nutrition certified coach. I was level 1 and level 2 certified, meaning I'm a master nutrition coach. And I'm actually going through level 2 a second time because precision nutrition was recently approved to become board certified, meaning I will get to be able to sit before a board of experts that certify, that say, I am as knowledgeable as this piece of paper does, right? So there's a lot of requirements, a lot of coaching hours, testing. And what that also allows me to do is perhaps take insurance in the future. So I'm taking level 2 again, and my source is through an article written by Ryan Andrews. He is also a registered dietitian, and CSCS. I don't know what all the other ones mean, but CSCS is a strength and conditioning um, certification as well. So this guy knows his stuff, okay? And is written by a registered dietitian. Okay, why should we care? 70 million people in the US suffer from some sort of digestive illness, and this does not include heartburn. You or someone you know probably struggle with some kind of gut dysfunction or some kind of gut symptom. Or maybe you thought to yourself, like, oh, I'm so super tired of feeling bloated. Or certain foods you realize trigger you and you're in the bathroom all the time. Maybe these are some symptoms that you're wondering with skin conditions or allergies and wondering if something could be connected with what you're eating and also how your gut is taking that in. And can that affect what is showing up on the outside? And there is evidence that, yes, what shows up on the outside truly, it sometimes can be affected for what we intake on the inside. So taking care of our gut is actually super important. And I think that a lot of people don't pay attention until they have a scary health diagnosis or until things become super painful that they can no longer ignore it. So part of I'm hoping that whoever's watching right now, that this could be some education. Even if you're not suffering right now, this is something to help you pay attention. Something to, like, oh yeah, Rose mentioned that symptom. I wonder if I did this, if this would improve. Or, you know what? I care about my health. I care about having a strong gut because I learned in this talk that having a strong gut influences strong health in all these other ways. So I really hope that the key takeaway from today is knowledge is power, and that you guys have the knowledge that you need to make a change, to feel empowered. Pretty much any subject, nutrition or fitness, I have covered in this group. So check out the archives because that is my passion, is to help you guys have the information that you need, that is specific to you and it's important to you, to help you make decisions with your health goals. And if you ever have specific questions, don't hesitate to send me a message. If I can't answer it, I know someone who can. Okay. All right. So, our GI tract is important because it helps keep our bodies happy and healthy. Okay. Our gut is what allows nutrients and water to enter the body while also stopping and preventing the entry of things that are not good for us, toxins that we're exposed to. Um, it's the protective and selective barrier between our bodies and the outside world. So if we have a distressed gut, it cannot act in its strongest defense of the things that we encounter. Instead, it can allow dangerous compounds to enter our body that can then, in turn, affect our health. So, this is where the right type of nutrition, the right diet can strengthen your gut and make it the powerhouse protective system to keep us healthy. Okay. Really quick, I'm going to mute my phone because I forgot to do that and I'm hearing notifications. All right. Okay. So that's why it's important that we have a happy and healthy gut barrier. So, what is a happy and healthy gut barrier? Well, a happy and healthy gut is a balanced gut. So, your gut has lots of bacteria, and we want to have a nice balanced gut, meaning that we have enough of the good bacteria to do the fight that it needs to do. We also need to have intact mucosa. So, mucosa is this gut lining that's on the inside of your gut, and it replaces itself every 3 to 7 days. I actually did not know that. And as I was researching this, I was like, man, it is not too old to learn something new. Your gut lining replaces itself, but we want to give it a happy, healthy place to replace itself, right? Um, and our gut is actually our home of the immune system. And so having a healthy gut means we're also going to have a nice, strong, healthy immune system. 70% of our immune system cells live in or around the gut. And I don't know about you guys, but with the age of post COVID, and realizing how important it is to take care of our immune system so it can fight things that we never could have imagined we would have to fight, is super important right now. So, a healthy immune system is crucial to having a happy and healthy body. And so, that is why we need to pay attention to having healthy and happy guts. All right. Drop in the comments. Does this resonate with you? Like, is it important to you to help strengthen your immune system? Because I really would love to know where you guys are at and if this is something that you want to learn more about. Okay, this is great info. Thank you, Jada. All right, so why is it important for us to have an intact mucosa and healthy immune system? Well, here's the thing. Most of what we consume today was unknown to our bodies 100 years ago. And that's what experts kind of speculate that that's why we suffer from new food intolerances and new allergies because our bodies weren't really built to take in this new type of food. Okay. And so when the gut wall is irritated, so imagine your gut wall is, hold on, I'm actually going to make myself bigger here. If your gut wall, it looks like this and is nice and tight and intact, okay? When it gets irritated, it loose or inflame, it loosens, okay? So it loosens up and it's no longer intact or as strong as it used to be. And do you see how things can pass through those fingertips now? So a healthy gut lining is going to be super tight. It's going to be a protective badass. It's got this really great shield for you to fight against pathogens and bacteria that we just are normally introduced with our air, food, water, all of that. And also fight against things that are irritating to the gut. But as the gut it becomes more and more irritated, it loosens its strength. Okay. So it loosens its strength. And now let's say like, we get I was going to say like our body gets assaulted. millions of times. But as it's like, because I was thinking about this protection, as it's like, millions of bacteria is coming into contact with and toxins and all these irritants, it starts missing things. And occasionally things are going to start going through when your gut lining is irritated. So we no longer have this strong gut. Jada, yes, I know how much my energy increases when I clean my gut. Absolutely. And we're going to actually talk about that the next two. So I'm so glad you brought that up because there is ways to become healthy. So this is not like, uh definitive like you have an unhealthy gut and you're going to live with this forever. There is ways to get healthier. Hi, thanks for watching. Okay, so I'm going to make this big again. Okay, so I demonstrated how, like, when the gut wall gets irritated or inflamed, those tight junctions between its cells loosen up, and they call that increased permeability. So things can permeate the gut wall. And this is also known as leaky gut syndrome. So, if you've ever heard that thrown around, which I've heard that thrown around a lot in the nutrition world, leaky gut syndrome, that's what that is. And that all that means is that the gut lining junctions are not as tight as it used to be. It has loosened up and things are able to pass through that shouldn't. Okay. And the things that pass through that shouldn't, that's what causes us to feel unwell or us to experience certain symptoms. Okay. So, oh, I accidentally cut something off here. But so, what can affect our mucosa not being as intact? Inflammation, stress, medications, our bacterial balance, malnutrition, so not getting enough of the nutrients we need. Some compounds in foods can irritate our gut, like gluten, casein, which is dairy, lectins, which are some beans, and actually some fructose does too, which is fruit sugar. So anything in excess, right, can harm the gut. But truly, it's making sure that we have a balanced system to kind of help get healthy. So even though I've listed some of these things, it might not be that way for you. Everybody is different. And that's why, and we're going to talk in session 3, that's why trying eliminating certain things and testing to see if you feel better is a way people can really dial down and see which things are irritating. Okay, so a leaky gut, when its walls are not tightly intact, it's not going to be able to be selective. So beneficial nutrients can pass through, and then the dangerous bacteria can pass through too. And that in turn can stimulate an immune response or can stimulate inflammation when the bad stuff gets through. And this kind of inflammation or this immune response, it can burden the brain and the liver, which I don't know about you, but like anytime I hear those two things, it makes me really want to pay attention and say, okay, I want to make sure that my brain is in good health. Okay. All right. So, more about leaky gut. I'm going to take a little pause, see how you guys are taking this in. Have you heard of leaky gut before? I would love to know in the comments. If you've heard of leaky gut before, what are your questions? Do you know a family member who has been diagnosed with leaky gut? We just love to know. So, people who have been told that they have leaky gut, it often can go along with these other conditions. So, some other conditions that they have just been seen to go along with, I'm not saying there's any causation one way or the other. It's just a scientific correlation that they've seen that these conditions often are parallel with leaky gut. So, autism is one, type 1 diabetes, allergies, mental illness, skin inflammation, such as acne, rosacea, or eczema, diminished insulin signaling, okay, and asthma. These are just some of the conditions that people have seen, or scientists have seen, doctors have seen, that go along with leaky guts. So, um, although these are causal relationships, meaning there's no scientific proof that one causes the other, researchers have identified that certain things can cross the leaky gut. They have proved that. So, like gluten and casein can cross. Well, I gotta see what my slide says because I'm blocking. Hold on. Um, which can provoke an antigenic response and leading to central nervous system dysfunctions. Okay. All right. So we kind of touched on it a little bit. What causes leaky gut? Maybe I'll do this. There we go. That way I can read the slide in its entirety. Okay. So what we believe causes leaky gut is the long-term use of some medications, most notably NSAIDs, which is short for non-steroidal anti-inflammatory. So things like we're talking about long-term use. So you may think of it as like Motrin or ibuprofen or naproxen. Those are in the NSAIDs family. Birth control and corticosteroids is what's has been shown to be a contributor. Excess sugar, refined carbohydrate consumption, excessive alcohol consumption, pathogenic bacteria. Some kind of bacterial infection in the gut can cause leaky gut, which can also compromise gut health for up to 3 years. But also it can be treated. Parasites, yeast, stress that's either acute, so like it just acute means it just head on some very stressful situation came out of nowhere, or chronic, meaning like low level or medium levels, well, more like medium levels of stress that are ongoing. So chronic meaning stress that's been ongoing for a long time, which can compromise gut health for up to 3 years. Sorry, nope, I misread my slide. So let me pause for a second. I was talking about stress. I was like, what am I talking about? So, acute and chronic stress, that's the difference between acute and a chronic stress. Acute stress is something that comes on suddenly, chronic stress is dealing with stress for a long periods of time. Those are things that can possibly cause leaky gut and environmental contaminants. So, things that we're exposed to in the environment. Okay, so some people think of leaky gut as symptoms that we may experience on the inside, but there's also other symptoms of gut distress on the outside. Hold on. Excuse me for 1 minute. And those are that could what happens is some symptoms can manifest on the outside, and you might think that they're unrelated, but they could be related. And I'm not saying, like I said, none of these are all like correlated. I'm not saying one causes the other, but here are some other symptoms to be aware of, that maybe your gut is in distress and maybe we should start paying attention to our gut health. So, joint pain, fibromyalgia, sleep disturbances, rheumatoid arthritis, fever, restless leg syndrome, anemia, skin irritation, fatigue, night sweats, headache, and so on. And some serious gut pathologies could also um, you could present as unexplained weight loss and nutrient deficiencies. Okay. Because if the gut is not able to absorb the nutrients it's supposed to, then that's where you see those nutrient deficiencies. Okay, so what causes gut distress? We've kind of touched on this a little bit, but I have a list here. So often it's the foods that we eat. Now, some of these foods are considered healthy, but these are the most common offenders, and the only way to know if this is causing your leaky gut is to experiment by taking it out temporarily. And we'll walk you through how to do that in session 3. Or if you need immediate help, please message me and I can connect you with someone that can help you guide through the process that I usually refer out to. Okay, so the 4 common offenders are lectins, which are lectins are a particular type of protein, and they're found in things like grains, beans, legumes, and nuts. Gluten can cause gut distress, uh, and sometimes they're also seen in things like barley, rye, and the zein in corn can cause gut distress. Casein or lactose and other immunoglobulins in dairy and fructose, which is fruit sugar. So usually it's in the overconsumption of fructose, or if certain people have trouble digesting fructose, because again, this is all an individual experiment, we have to find out which ones is your irritant. Um, and also, there's a category of carbohydrates known as food maps or FODMAPs, and it's some people, you'll have to look at that, are on a low FODMAP diet because they've seen that this irritates the gut. So you'll have to take a look at that, but they're complex carbohydrates that are known to be hard to digest, is in the simpler way to say that. um, so for some of these compounds can also stimulate a histamine response. So it can kind of stimulate an allergy. Okay. They can mimic symptoms of respiratory allergies such as sneezing, sniffles, and throat irritation. So this was kind of like, I learned about this recently and it was eye opening to me that it's like, oh, I could have these like allergy symptoms, which I would normally associate with like outdoor allergies from things that I eat. So, very interesting that I saw that on there. Um, and then for others, these allergies can stimulate an a T cell response and can exacerbate people who have autoimmune condition. It can exacerbate their symptoms. So some people with autoimmune conditions, they might have symptoms like joint pain or skin rashes. If they suffer through that, it can increase their symptoms. If they are experiencing gut distress. Okay. And then some people might just not have enough gut enzymes. So this is something that I think a lot of people may have and not realize it, which is a low level of digestive enzyme in their gut. So sometimes not having enough just digestive enzymes could also cause gut distress. And that's something that is just like our biology. Some people just don't produce enough digestive enzymes. So that's where that person would may look into supplementation to help increase their digestive enzymes so they can digest all these things. Okay. All right. So, part 2 is how to improve your gut health. That's going to be next Tuesday. So, please make sure to tune in because now we talked about why you should pay attention, or today we talked about why you should pay attention. Next week is what are the things that we can do to help us improve our gut health. So, if you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comments. Thank you so much for staying with me till the end. Until next time, this is Coach Rose rooting for you to try something new in 2022. See you later.